I'm a tiny taggart in a brave new world, gonna free this town. If you didn't know about me already, well, you know it now. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Objectivist Girl. Today I have Jordan Page, and we're gonna talk to you today about what doing Liberty music is like and why we think Liberty music is just so important. So Jordan, it's really nice to have you on my show.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So my take on Liberty music and doing Liberty music is that it really, first of all, just reaches across lines and it shows people what we're about from the very core in a way that I think people speak. I think it's the universal language is music.
Sure, absolutely. Well, music is it's a very non-threatening way to convey something. I can approach someone and try to give them some information, or tell them what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also put it into a song where it's almost like a Trojan horse,
Mm-hmm.
and not in the negative connotation
Mm-hmm.
though, but just you put it into poetry and make people think. Questions are always very effective, and I have a lot of questions in my songs because I want the listeners to answer those questions on their own. But it's the music is just really it's an amazing vehicle to put something out there, and I've had a lot of success with it. That because the music itself is kind of an emotional medium. It's a medium of art, I should say.
Yes.
I view art as like the projection of your, infinite self, and everyone loves music, and people attach themselves to melody, they attach themselves to a beat, and then once they're moving with that, once their spirit and their bodies are moving with the music, the words come in, and then it's like you already have an open door.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, someone might, see my shirt, and not want to talk to me.
Great.
But I wear a lot of political shirts just to be inflammatory and cause
Mm-hmm.
problems. But the that might close the door, but the music opens the door.
Definitely.
Yep.
Ayn Rand described music or art in general as being man's highest expression of the self. And so the idea is to express man at his very highest. And I would say that Jordan's music definitely does that.
Well, it's honest.
Yeah.
I feel like before I started writing these types of songs, it was all very selfish. It was all very like...
You be careful on my show, Jordan.
Well, what I mean by that, Objectivist Girl, is... what I mean by that, is those songs, before, like Pendulum, they were just all about me and just my personal experiences, and like they were love songs, and they were, maybe, just spiritual soliloquies on whatever I'm just feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And although the more politically charged songs, I feel are more about everyone.
Yeah.
And the larger issues, the larger problems that we're facing, and not just about me and my personal microcosm. It's about it's like all of a sudden I became macro, and I was looking at world issues and national issues.
So you're saying it was irrationally selfish. It didn't meet the goals that you had set forth, and when you write music, you want to inspire people to change, not write something about yourself that may not reach other people on their level.
Well, originally I didn't like set out to do that. Like it's just what I was writing about. It's just all I really knew because I was in a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I was a sheep like anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That I was one of the people that I'm trying to reach.
Yes.
I think I obviously had potential to be a more conscientious person who cares about the larger issues and who cares about other my community as opposed to just myself.
Right.
I had that potential. It was untapped. And I had experiences that opened me up and made me care about the larger issues and made me want to be a voice against war and against corruption and
Right.
and tyranny and that and the music itself has been very inspiring for me because I feel it too, just the way my
Yes.
fans do. I feel it too, and it helps me too. Um, I love being part of this. I love being a voice in this ocean of voices who are standing up against all the madness.
Yeah.
And music is a very effective tool, but it actually works both ways because I've had people hear my songs and they love them until they realize what they were about.
Oh, yes, like that concert you were telling us about that it took 3 songs for them to realize that you were singing to the conservatives about something they totally disagreed with.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was singing to a crowd of about 11,000 people. It was a Tea Party crowd, and they I sang 2 songs that were very straightforward, but I think they just weren't really listening to what I was saying, and so I played my song War Machine. And after War Machine, they were listening, and they did not clap. So,
Yeah, they got it.
yeah, they finally got it after the 3rd time. Three strikes and you're out. I also, several years ago, my manager sent my Liberty album to a radio programming director up in Boston, and who's a friend of his. And the guy listened to it and said, "I love this guy. Jordan's awesome. I'm going to play this record everywhere. He's going to be famous. Blah blah blah." 3 days later, he called my manager back and said, "I'm never playing this guy ever."
Wow.
He supports Ron Paul.
Oh my goodness.
So it's amazing to me that this person, listened to my album several times and loved it, and only after he looked me up online and saw my association with Ron Paul did he go back. So that's but
It's so funny that it wasn't
yeah.
apparent through your music.
I think so too, but that shows me the kind of amazingness of music as an infiltration tool into the psychology of a person that he didn't get the message right away, but the music got in and he liked it. But he had an allergic reaction to the idea,
Right.
Because he was super ultra left liberal. He didn't. Which in itself is kind of interesting because we have so much in common with the left, like the anti-war.
We have so much in
aspect.
common with the right too.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like we
so
have the
funny.
best of both worlds, and it's just it's fun always being right. I love that.
Oh, Jordan, you're awesome.
Hey, what can I say?
So I think the last thing I really, really love about music is that it not only can inspire other people outside the movement, but inside the movement, I find that people find listening to your music to be refreshing and will kind of bring them back from a place where they're starting to get dark and, because the world around them doesn't seem to be changing and the actions that they're having seem to have such a small effect. And your music kind of reminds them that there are people out there.
Well, that's actually a very relevant and poignant question because right now, I mean, I am doing outreach to the uninitiated, but more than anything, I am preaching to the choir intentionally. Like that's what I'm trying to do because the choir needs preaching to. The choir is like hungry and kind of desperate for some validation, just like you just said. And that's why for the last year, I've been doing house concerts all over the country, and not just house concerts, but I've been getting together with the hardcore, local meetups in any given area, and I'll pick a city, and then go to the next city, and just reach out to them, and do a show for them, and try to keep them invigorated, and keep them passionate, and keep them lifted up, because this fight is daunting.
Yes.
We are hopelessly outgunned. We are hopelessly outspent. But we have something that the bad guys don't have. We're right.
Yeah.
And you can't stop an idea whose time has come. And this idea, its time has come, and it just has to spread. And but the people who spread it are feeling downtrodden, and they're feeling tired. Everyone gave so much to the Ron Paul campaigns, and they give so much, to people putting on these events that end up not being well attended. They lose money, and it becomes disheartening, and they don't want to do it anymore. I'm trying to just get everyone who was so charged up in the whole Ron Paul revolution to be charged up indefinitely, no matter what, no matter like because it doesn't matter who's running for office. I've come to this conclusion. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we are, stemming the tide of tyranny, and the way that you do that is by educating the whole of the people, and the people on the ground and in their area, they're the ones who are educating. I'm educating from like the stage, but they're educating in their communities. And until you change the culture and create a culture of liberty, not a liberty movement. The liberty movement was just the birth of this thing. Now we need a culture of liberty, and that happens by keeping the hardcore believers, in this idea of non-aggression, self-ownership, it keeping them, engaged, and keeping them in the game, and keeping them, lifted up, and that's really
Yes.
what my goal, my short-term goal is right now.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, we want the whole world to embrace freedom and embrace, the philosophical anarchist viewpoint.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think this has been a really good discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll get to open up for Jordan Page again at some point.
Oh yeah. So Objectivist Girl got to open for me at the Vermont Freedom and Unity Festival, and she rocked. It was awesome. She's got a beautiful voice, and she's got an amazing song that she sang.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jordan.
I'm a big
You're the
fan.
best.
Big fan.
Well, thank you. You're making me blush. So, if you guys want to donate to my campaign, please go to Indiegogo, Unrugged Individualism. There will be a link below. And remember, guys, knowledge is not for all men, but for those who seek it. So keep seeking.